When the boy stepped onto the America's Got Talent stage, nobody in the theater knew his name, and honestly, nobody expected to remember him. He was small for his age, thin, with nervous eyes that kept darting toward the judges' table and then back to the crowd. The stage lights felt too big for him, too bright, like they were exposing every fear he had ever carried across an ocean. He introduced himself in a soft voice, his accent unmistakably Filipino, and said he had come all the way from a poor coastal town where the sea was beautiful but life was very hard. Simon leaned forward and asked the question every contestant fears. Why this song? Why Hotel California? The audience murmured. It was a legendary song. Dangerous territory. Many had tried. Most had failed. The boy swallowed hard and said he used to sing it to his mother when the power went out at night. It was the only English song she loved, and the only one that made her forget how hungry they sometimes were. The room grew quieter, but doubt still hung heavy in the air. Howie smiled politely, but Sophia looked concerned. She asked if he had ever performed in front of people before. He shook his head and said only in the streets, sometimes in front of tourists, sometimes in front of nobody at all. Terry Crews, standing backstage, later said he could feel something different about the moment, but even he admitted he didn't expect what came next. As the music started, something went wrong. The guitar string buzzed. The boy froze. A second passed. Then another. You could almost hear America holding its breath. Simon raised an eyebrow, clearly ready to stop the audition. The boy whispered sorry into the microphone, adjusted his grip, and then began again. The first note wasn't loud. It wasn't flashy. But it was honest. His voice carried a kind of quiet pain that didn't beg for attention but demanded it anyway. By the second line, the crowd stopped shifting in their seats. By the first chorus, a woman in the front row was already wiping her eyes. Then came the first twist. Halfway through the song, the boy stopped playing the guitar and continued singing without music. The band didn't join in. There was no backing track. Just his voice filling the massive theater, trembling but strong. He closed his eyes, and when he sang the line about being a prisoner of his own device, something cracked open inside the room. Later, he would explain that when he was 11, his father left to work overseas and never came back. No calls. No money. Just silence. His mother worked 3 jobs, and he sang to keep her awake on long nights when exhaustion almost defeated her. Hotel California became their escape, their imaginary place where pain paused for a few minutes. As the song built, his voice grew stronger, richer, carrying an emotion far beyond his years. Simon's posture changed. Sophia's hand flew to her mouth. Howie leaned back, stunned. The boy wasn't just singing the song. He was living inside it. Then came the second twist. At the song's climax, his voice cracked. Not in a technical way, but in a human way. Instead of correcting it, he leaned into it. That imperfection turned the performance from impressive to unforgettable. The audience erupted into applause before the song was even finished, breaking every rule of auditions. When the final note faded, there was silence. Not the awkward kind, the sacred kind. Then the entire theater stood up. Simon didn't speak right away. When he finally did, his voice was quieter than usual. He said he had heard Hotel California thousands of times, but never like that. He admitted he almost stopped the audition in the first 30 seconds and said he was grateful he didn't. Sophia asked the boy about his family, and that's when the third twist hit. He revealed that his mother had passed away just 6 months earlier. She never knew he made it to America. The last thing she told him was to sing, even if nobody listens. Tears streamed down his face as he said he sang that song for her tonight. The camera cut to the audience. Grown men were crying. Teenagers were hugging each other. Even the crew backstage stood frozen. Howie said the performance reminded him why the show exists. Not for perfection, but for moments that connect the world. He said this boy didn't just sing. He healed something in everyone watching. Then Terry Crews walked onto the stage and hugged him,